Mods have always interested me, especially during the prime era of Let's Play YouTube. Mod showcases were some of the most popular content you would see. I remember binge watching the Gaming Lemons GTA 4 mod series or Vanos Gaming Gmod videos, but something that always stuck out to me were Minecraft mods. Channels like DanTDM and popular MMOs were pretty much completely built off of playing Minecraft mods. I remember watching these videos and really wanting to play these mods for myself, but only having an Xbox 360, quickly realized that modding my console required soldering and was generally quite difficult. And also that there weren't really any Minecraft mods for the Xbox 360 at all. With enough searching, I eventually stumbled upon a video detailing how to get mods without needing to hard mod my Xbox 360. This of course was a video about Horizon, a Windows tool to put modded save files on your Xbox 360. Booting up Horizon today, it's just so perfectly outdated. The UI doesn't seem to have changed at all from when I originally found it, and today we're going to take a look at some of these old Minecraft Xbox 360 mods. I say mods in quotations because you can't actually mod the game like this. You can only create modded save files, so many of the mods were done via practical effects or were simply just a custom map. Nowadays, it was genuinely hard to find these mods. I was only able to find them via an old YouTube video that linked to a website called mcxboxmods.com. This website is now a scam of some sort. It seems like one of the scams that try to get you to download something via an affiliate link, or it might be outright malicious, who knows, but in order to find the modded maps nowadays, I had to use the Wayback Machine and click through the archived sites to find very old Mediafire links. I then copied and pasted them into my browser to find that they actually do still exist, and I downloaded them via the Mediafire links. Sadly, a lot of the links on mcxboxmods.com are adfly links and do not directly link to the Mediafire page. As such, these mods are likely lost to time unless another link is found or something. I found 13 maps in total, very heavily varying in quality. One of them is just so unbelievably bad that they must have genuinely not tested the map at all. But I've uploaded all of these maps to my Internet Archive page if you want to download and play them for yourself. The first map we'll be looking at is called myhouse.bin. Just kidding, it's called save 2013-11-05-19-4803 brackets 2.bin. But the actual mod itself is called My House. No, this is not anything to do with the fucking ARG. And yeah, it's a house. Going inside, there's a ladder that leads to a basement area. The first room is filled with completely empty chests, but the next room has 3 different paths. To the left is labeled living quarters and has a chest filled with modded items. Stacked armor, end portal blocks, nether portal blocks, enchanted mob spawners. All of the enchanted items are really broken. They say level 1 of each enchant, but yeah, that's just not true. The path forward is the mob spawner area with a bunch of mob spawners. I'd love to turn this into a huge mob grinder, but yeah, that's not all that interesting. And the area to the right is just a farming area. Also fairly uninteresting. After this, I decided to blow the place up, maybe to find some secrets, but I didn't find anything. The next one we'll be looking at is called xboxthebuttonpro.bin. This is labeled as a TU30 map, but loading it up in TU30 crashes the game. This is not that big of a deal on its own, but the map is basically an adventure map where you find the button. It's really simple and slightly enjoyable up until you reach the 4th level, where you are met with what is a genuinely impossible to clear gap. Now, there are 2 different buttons in stage 2. I thought this might be a solution, but the first button simply doesn't do anything. Going into creative and breaking through, literally nothing is connected to it. I've also checked for barrier blocks to parkour on, but there aren't any. I started to think this might be a troll map. There is a bunny in room 2. Maybe they want you to make a jump boost potion, but a rabbit's foot is a 10% chance to drop. There's also no brewing stand, bottles, blaze rods, nether warts, and so on to actually make the potion. And believe it or not, the gap is so bad, you can't even make the gap using a jump boost 1 potion. You need a jump boost 2 potion. After all of that, I decided to cheat. I placed an extra block to actually play the map. The parkour here is genuinely really difficult, almost too difficult, especially after the unclearable gap before. When I started struggling to make a jump, I started gaslighting myself into believing that it's actually the game's fault, but a lot of these jumps are really hard. Like this jump to the fence block, it is really hard, but it's doable. And right after that is a staircase jump that's also really hard. What makes these jumps so much more difficult is that custom controller bindings weren't added into the game until near the end of Legacy Console's lifespan, and the default sprint option is double tapping forward on the left stick. It's genuinely infuriating when the game decides that you took too long to double tap the joystick and you're left plummeting to your death. After this staircase jump, there's what seems to be another impossible jump. My character simply does not jump high enough to reach the next block. Stage 5 of the map is a trading sequence. You find a pickaxe and a creeper head in this house, then you mine the emerald, buy a second creeper head with it, then buy a dragon egg with the creeper heads. The next item required in the trading sequence is a nether star. I was completely stumped on how exactly to get a nether star in this stage. You're supposed to toss something into this hopper. What exactly, it doesn't tell you. I thought it might be a combination lock that required a dragon egg and a nether star to progress, but genuinely being stumped on how to get a nether star, I looked at the redstone, and it's literally just a hopper line. The hopper at the end is filled with stacks of dragon eggs, except for the last slot of the hopper being a stack of 63, and then there's a comparator reading from the final hopper. The goal of this, I have absolutely no clue. The redstone line going from the comparator leads directly to the piston that is blocking our path. Adding the last dragon egg to the hopper, like I assume you're supposed to, obviously doesn't do anything. With the way this is configured, if you wanted to unpower the piston, we would need to remove dragon eggs from the hoppers, not add them. To fix this, I removed some dragon eggs from the hoppers and then added a redstone torch to invert the power. And now the redstone for this map actually works. I went on to complete the map, forgetting the stacks of dragon eggs left in my inventory. I don't think a map can get any worse than forcing you to fix the map's redstone. Stage 6 has no button, you just find a hole to the next room, but it's fairly straightforward. Stage 7 is actually beatable as well, a very low bar to clear with this map. And Stage 8 is a room covered in buttons. After how much this map has wasted my time, literally forcing me to go into creative mode and fix the redstone, I found the button totally legit, painstakingly clicking every button so I could find the exit. Stage 9 is literally a box of grass with a button in the corner, then that's the end. The next map is called Melon Survival Dakin, or Dakin, I don't fucking know. .bin. Loading in, you're graded with what you'd expect, a bunch of melons. There's a sign that says, "Welcome, challenges are in the video's description," and then the name of a YouTube channel, Dakin Black Rose. This channel still exists, the last post being from 5 months ago, but it seems like all of the uploads pre-2017 were removed. The last sign says, "Number 1 rule, you can't eat melons." Which I will definitely be following. This is really structured like a skyblock map, where you have one tree, the resources necessary to make a cobblestone generator, and you basically just expand from there. Quite fun, but a little overdone at this point, in my opinion. The next one is called B.bin. There's a few signs. Once again, this is made by Dakin Black Rose, and the sign says, "Bees mod," or "Fireflies," whatever. And the map itself is basically just a bunch of invisible bats that have XP orbs attached to them. Logically, I decided to blow them up, and who would have guessed they all died and dropped their XP orbs. Then I felt bad, and I made a grave for them, and then I blew that up as well. The next map is called UMWV6.bin. It has a lot of stuff in it, but probably the coolest is the unobtainable items section. There's water source blocks, lit furnaces, crop stages, unpowered redstone torches, the fire item. I of course tried to craft chainmail armor from it, but it didn't work. A lock chest, which unfortunately appears as white stained glass, and a bunch of other stuff. Pretty cool. The next map is called Dreamcraft, and it has no file extension. This is genuinely the best mod this game has to offer. It feels like a mod. There's a ton of stuff packed into this map, tons of structures to explore, lucky blocks that actually work quite well, a mod shop with a modded villager that has a bunch of illegal items. It's just fun, honestly, and I would recommend you play this for yourself. Note, this is fairly laggy. You first spawn inside of a bedrock box, and then the game kills you, and you're spit out into the world. There's a chest with a book and a map inside. The book has 4 rules written in it. Number 1, don't craft a map under any circumstances. Number 2, don't look at maps in other dimensions. Number 3, don't fight bosses unequipped. Number 4, if recording, credit nobles. You can tell this is an old Minecraft username because of the Z at the end. Like, that was a big thing for a long time. Just put Z at the end of your name instead of an S. But shout out nobles or noblades. Something that always gets me in games or in anything, honestly, is when something tells you, hey, don't do this. You're likely gonna do it to see why they tell you not to do it. And I find that kind of funny. But they tell you not to do this because it breaks the custom maps they used for lucky blocks. But the map that was in the chest has some challenges for you. Build a home, break a lucky block, get full iron armor, fly to the moon, go to the Aether dimension, find a sunken city, and go to 400 for more challenges. I almost immediately found a lucky block and went to complete my first challenge. My reward was 1 singular ender pearl. Eventually, night came, so I stole all the lamps in the village to make a bed. I really miss when villages had these. They're just so convenient to steal. Once I woke up, I stole the villagers' crops for some food, and then set out for my next challenge, which was getting full iron armor. I had already found some iron in a chest earlier, so I had a head start. I then found some more iron in the blacksmith chest, as well as a sword, mined a little bit of exposed iron from this rock, and eventually looked in the second blacksmith chest and found iron leggings and boots. I think I might need to open some CSGO cases after that. I smelted the rest of my iron and crafted the final piece of my set, finishing another challenge. I found a potion of luck and a lucky block, and drinking it gave me an infinite potion effect of level 4 night vision, fire resistance, regeneration, jump boost, instant health, water breathing, strength, resistance, haste, and speed. And now I'm basically invulnerable and one-shot everything, which is kind of overkill, but whatever. Next, I'm extremely curious as to what the Aether dimension is, considering there's no mods. Eventually, I found a random freestanding ladder. Climbing it almost felt like it was infinitely large, like the infinite staircase in Super Mario 64. It just keeps regenerating in front of you. Eventually, we reach the top, and I think this might be the moon mentioned in a challenge, so challenge complete, I think. There's a large nether portal in the middle of the center area, but the portal doesn't work because custom-sized nether portals weren't added yet in this version. So I stole the obsidian and made a portal like that. The nether in this map is completely made of snow. Instead of quartz, there's diamond ore. Instead of lava, there's water. Nether brick fortresses are made of mossy stone brick, and there's also random gold blocks everywhere. I thought this was random initially, but I began to realize that it was probably mushrooms being replaced with gold. Putting Dreamcraft seed into a new world, we can test this, and come to find out, it's actually fire. So all fire patches are replaced with gold blocks, and those being so abundant in the nether, there's just a ton of gold everywhere. But yeah, this is pretty cool. If 8-year-old me built an Aether portal and ended up here, I'm sure I wouldn't have complained. After that, I was curious about the end, so I did a little bit of cheating and made a separate creative version of the map so I could go to the end and record B-roll. But Eye of Enders lead you to the middle of nowhere, so I just made a portal myself, and I kind of regret cheating because I thought it was going to be a normal end dimension, possibly where the custom maps were stored, but it turns out it's actually another custom dimension. So the moon I found earlier wasn't actually the moon. The end dimension is actually the moon, with a whole moon base, even equipped with zombie astronauts, and the inside of the moon is covered in ores. This map is really well done, considering there's absolutely no mods. Let me know if y'all want me to do a survival series on this map. I also might live stream it. I think that might be interesting. But that's going to do it for this one, unfortunately. I've launched memberships on my channel, so if you want to support my content and allow me to keep producing stuff like this, feel free to join if you have the money. Currently, there's only 2 tiers. One is $2.99 and the other is $4.99. All tiers right now are completely equal in terms of perks, so consider anything above the base tier just an extra donation. I plan on eventually releasing a members-only Minecraft server once I have enough money to maintain server cost, but don't join members expecting this anytime soon. As for channel updates, I'm working on a very long video. It's like an hour plus long video, and right now I have about 25-ish minutes of it fully edited, but it's taken an insane amount of time to produce so far, and I don't know when it's going to be done, especially considering I'm making filler content in between it like this, and I kind of have to divert my entire attention to one singular project at a time, so that slowed the video down a lot. I hope you enjoyed.
Help me!